Hi, precious people. Hi. Hi, social media land. We are here again. YouTubers, Facebookers, UT, FB, alert. We are here again on another episode of the Question Live show with your host, the one and only Verona Willis-Brown. And that is moi. Yes, I am your host. I've been your host for the past 12 season. Well, actually, we're in 12 season right about now. I've been the host of this show for the past 11 season. Because we're in our 12th season. And it has been a journey, a wonderful journey. We come on up in here. And this is a space. This is a space for you to come on in here with your story. Come on in here with your book. Come on in here where we share together and we build together and we grow together. So let me tell you something. We like to show up in here and we like to take charge. We show up in here and we like to make a statement. We come up in here and we don't come to impress nobody. We come to impact lives, to encourage you, to empower you, and impart on you knowledge that we so learn. Right? We'd like to come on up in here and let you know that we're not here to impress you. And we're not here to motivate you either. We're here to inspire you. So as you come on in the room, just remember that you're coming in here with an intention. For real, for real. You're coming in here, come on in the room with an intention to learn something, to grow with us, to build with us, and succeed with us. Because you see, on this journey called life, we are all on this journey called life. Yes, we are. We are all on this journey called life. And I tell you what, everybody wants a success story. Whether you just born today or 50 years, 60 years ago, 70, 80, 90, 100 years ago. Everybody wants to say, I have a success story. I am successful. I did. Everybody want to say, I am successful. Everybody want to say that. So when we come on in here, we come on in here with an intention to build together, to grow together, because when we grow together, we are stronger. And because we are all on this journey with an intention to be successful. Everybody defines success different. Yep. Everybody defines success differently. And because everybody defines success differently, I say to you, we can make it on our own. Mm-mm, absolutely not. We cannot succeed by ourselves. No, no. So because we are all on this journey, we all want to be successful, we are going to cross paths somewhere along the line. And because we are going to cross paths somewhere along the line, I say to you, please be mindful. Be mindful of the very words. Be mindful of the very action. Be mindful of how you cross paths and you leave a negative impact. Be mindful of how you show up. Be mindful of the intention, the expectations. Be mindful. So as we be mindful of when we cross paths, just remember that when you leave that path, you're leaving a mark on that path. And it's a mark that will go on forever and forever and forever. So let us be mindful when we show up of how we are showing up, right? So as we are going on this journey, listen to me. Whether you want to be something, you desire to be something, you are in a position, whether you are the president, the prime minister, the governor, the mayor, the student, the teacher, the doctor, the vice president, the lawyer, come on now, the patient, the student, wherever position you're in, you did not get there by yourself. And whatever position you would like to reach, you can't get there by yourself. So let us get this concept in our head right now, wrap our mind around it, that we need to work together. You need me, I need you, we need we, right? We're going to work together. So let us get into this format of we need to work together and we need each other. Yeah, it might not look so, but yeah, for real. We need each other. Right. So I want to say to you, welcome, welcome. We are rolling. Can you believe this? We are rolling out of October like nobody's business. Whoop, whoop, bop. We are going out of October. Right now, we're in the eyesight of November. And before you know it, we are out of season 12. And before you know it, we are out of 2024. Hello, somebody. Come on up in here. Before you know, we are done with 2024. What have you done so far? Right? Before you know it, we're gone. Today is the 22nd and actually the 23rd because this is a global platform. So it's morning for somebody. It's the 23rd morning for somebody. And let me tell you something. I'm in the 22nd. And my goodness, the 22nd of October. Oh, just shocking because of the weather. I mean, it's my beautiful weather. Anybody been here know that I love me some summer weather. Mwah. I love me some summer weather. And today we had lovely summer weather, like 82 degrees. With the sun like pop, pop, pop. I was outside, I was like, I took a lunch break and I sat out in the park and I'm like, I wanted to go walking, get my little steps in. But I sat in the sun, I was like, Somebody's talking to me. No, I don't disturb me. I'm in a moment in the sun. And I was like, should I go back to work? I did not want to return to work because that sun was like, welcome. You were trying to leave me. I thought you were trying to leave. But like the temptations, I refuse to let you go. And I was like to the sun, I was like, summer, 82 degrees. I was like, I refuse to let you go. Uh-huh. I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. Who's saying that? Whoever. That's coming from the temptation side, okay? I'm not going to let you go, Summer. I'm not going to let you go. We're going to be together, right? So I was enjoying that. So it was so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Anybody who did not experience this today, you missed a whole bunch of summer experience today. Everybody had to take off their jacket that we had a couple of days ago. A couple of days ago, we were wrapped up in 40 degrees, 39 degrees. And right now, I mentioned this before that we're in the season of overlapping, right? And because we're in the season of overlapping, while season 12 is the season of birthing, but for the entire 2024 is the season of overlapping and abundance. And what is happening? The weather is overlapping. So season overlapping, summer and winter. They're having a whole conversation just going like, hey, we're doing this. Who's going first? You? No, man. They're having a whole debate. I'm telling you, a couple of days ago, it was 39 degrees. It was winter. Everybody put on their winter jacket. But let me tell you something what I did not do. I did not put on a winter jacket. Nope. I sat there. I want everybody to put on their winter jacket and they go with their boots and everything, gloves and all and everything. I was like, listen to me here. You don't just show up like that because I'm like, winter, I'm not into no talking with you. You can't just show up like that. So I was not entertaining that. So a lot of people were entertaining winter a couple of days ago, right? And I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna put on a little hat, my scarf. You gotta protect the neck and the mole, right? And I put on that. I'm like, I'm not taking out no winter jacket because let me tell you something. When you take out a winter jacket, don't put it back. You can't put it back. Can't put it back. You got to keep on going with it now because it's out. But I said, no, I'm not doing that. And I kept going. And I'm like, spring, fall jacket. That's going to be. So with that said, yeah, for real. With that said, let me tell you something. I was like, I saw it today. I was like, girl, somebody's that you? Welcome back, girl. I know you was not trying to leave me. I was trying to let them know that you're not far. Good. So now with that said, let me tell you something. Welcome to another episode. Yeah, we like to talk a little story because this is about you bringing your story. We like to share story. We like to grow together, build together, right? So you come on with your story. We're all for the story over here. Yes, we over the story. But let me tell you something. If this is your first time, well, come on now. Wait a minute. Let's squash that. If this is your first time, I mean, absolutely your first time tuning in. I mean, you've never been here before. You never heard of the Question Live Show. You never heard of the All You Free Enough platform. And of course, you never heard of moi, Verona Willis-Brown. Well, I want to say to you, welcome, 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 welcome to this episode. Tonight is your night. This morning is your morning because it is morning, night, and evening somewhere. Hello, somebody. We in different time zones. That is how. Listen, we just living a life where we in different time zones at the same time. Hey, amazing, right? So let me tell you something. If this is your first time, hold on. Let me know. Mm-hmm. If this is not your first time, then you know. This is what we do up in here. We do all sorts of stuff up in here. But if it's your first time, I want to say welcome, especially welcome to you. And you see, when you come on up in here for your first time, I like to tell you a little bit about me. But I can't tell you a little bit about me unless I know it is your first time, because I don't want to just talk to the regular people. I want to talk to you first time. So if this is your first time on the channel, or your first time just like being on the live show, I would like to give you a little snippet of who I am, of your host, of me. Yes. Introduce myself again to you. If you are new on this channel, you subscribe to this channel, you've been on this show, you're just tuning in because you're scrolling and you saw that little red rectangle that says live, and you decided to stop by. Yes. You are the newbie. You are the newbie. So with that said, I want to say that my name is Verona Willis-Brown. I am your host, been the host of this show for the past 11 seasons, as I mentioned. I am a native of the most beautiful place in the world. I mean, the most beautiful place in the world. And I'm not saying that with no shades. I'm not saying that with my mouth to the side. I'm saying it proud that I'm from the most beautiful place in the world, and that is Jamaica. Absolutely, I'm from Jamaica. Yes, indeed, native of Jamaica. So if you are not from Jamaica, if you don't have a percentage of Jamaica in your DNA, then you should have a Jamaican friend. Now, if you don't have a Jamaican friend, I would like to say, that's that. This is your opportunity right now to get a Jamaican friend. Get yourself a Jamaican friend right now, a sturdy, honest, beautiful Jamaican friend, and make things work with you, okay? So if you have a percentage of Jamaica in your blood and you're not activating it, get a Jamaican friend and we will activate it for you. Because let me tell you something about Jamaican. You see, we show up, and when we show up real extra. We show up really extra. When we show up to set record. We show up to make a mark. We show up to leave an impact. We don't break nothing, because you see, they're like, oh, we break record. No, we don't break. We don't like to break things. We like to show up and let you know that we are present. We like to let you know that, hey, you see us, we ain't going nowhere. So if you don't have a Jamaican friend right now, this is your opportunity to get one, two, too many, but get one solid, royal, loyal, faithful one, and you good to go. Come on, listen to me now. Another thing about me now, I came from farmers background. When I say farmers background, I don't mean like I know about farmers. My parents were farmers. I mean, solid, dedicated, committed farmers. So of course, I get to experience the farm life with the animals and the fresh fruits sitting right here, where I could go outside and grab a fruit, where I could go outside and look at my mama planting in the ground, have some solid food that I'm going to eat when I finish. Some solid food from the ground, some yam and so forth, potatoes and so forth, and watch her plant beautiful flowers. Yeah, beautiful flowers. My goodness, she was just as pretty as the flowers. Yep, indeed. Let me tell you something. I know the real deal of the farm life. Watching the pigs and all that stuff. Yeah, I know it. So let me tell you something. Come on in this room. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. My parents, dedicated, right? And because God says, God created us to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. I solidly believe that my parents interpret that really, really in their own terms, along with a lot of people who interpret that in their own way to say be fruitful and multiply, mean to have a lot of children. I mean, birth a lot of children from the womb. And that's what my parents did. My mama gave birth to a lot of children. I mean, absolutely. So I came from a huge family. So when I say she gave birth to a lot of children, lot. So I think they took that writing and they're like, we running with this. We're just gonna keep on having some babies. And they kept having some babies. But not only them, a lot of people had a lot of babies because I think that's exactly, especially if you're in the church, right? You're in the church and like, oh, be fruitful and multiply. Pop, you're having another baby. No, when it says be fruitful, the Bible said be fruitful and multiply. It didn't say to have a lot of biological children. It said to utilize the gifts and talent that is sown onto our DNA and replenish the earth. Because when you take your gifts, my talent, my expression, my goal, my dreams, my vision, and we ignite them together, that is how the earth is going to be replenished. That is simply mean that we are going to build up on the earth. That means we are going to take and put back. That simply mean that we are going to add on to what's there. That means we're going to have expansion. That means we are going to look at each other like, hey, I see you. We can do this together. That simply means we are going to work together. Yes, indeed. And that is what replenishing the earth means. Simply means we are making the earth, we are flourishing that which is on the earth already. We are taking what we have and we are going to work with it. And simply means we are not going to live in a poverty mindset because, of course, that's not what we were created for. And so many of us sit there and we are living in a poverty mindset. We fall into poverty and we stay there. But unfortunately, that is not the case because we were created with the mentality to create greatness. We were created with a mentality. We were created with intention, with expectation to replenish the earth and live fruitful. And simply mean that we are living fruitful. No one should be sitting in such a poor state of mind. No one should be sitting there, can't have drinking water. No one should be sitting there, can't have a grain of rice. No one should be sitting there in the street. No one should be sitting there saying that my entire family is on the street. It should not be so that majority of a country living in the slum, it should not be so because we were created to be fruitful and multiply and replenishing the earth. Living in the slum is not replenishing the earth because in that case, those who are living in the slum, our gifts and talents, the very gifts and talent that I have that needs to ignite with those cannot be ignited because you are in the slum, because the mentality of somebody else allow you to be in the slum. We don't want to be in the slum no more. It is not acceptable that we are in the slum no longer, right? So we want to be fruitful, and I like to be multiplying because let me tell you something. I was never good in maths, darling. No. But I learned something that there was a valuable because with the value, we learned value in add, multiply, division, and subtraction. And I know somewhere in the multiplication, the value was more. So I strongly believe in multiplying. Let us multiply our gifts and make the value of the replenishment of the earth be more. Yes. So let me tell you something. So I like to talk about my parents, but let me tell you, I told that we came from a huge family, and I do have the permission to talk about my family. Yes. So I'm like the encyclopedia. Many of you probably don't even know that word. Probably don't even know that. And because I'm like the Google, everybody know Google. I'm like Dr. Google of my family. So yes, indeed, so I do have the permission to talk about my family. Yes, I do. So when you come on in this room, I just call you a little bit closer to the screen. And let me tell you something about my family. Yep, I like to talk about my family, especially about me, because talking about me and my story, nobody else cannot do it. Absolutely not. So I like to do that, and I like to do it very, very well. So yes, indeed. So now for you, those who are just coming in, I'd like to say to you, special welcome. Mm-hmm. Welcome, first timers, welcome. Now, listen, if you've been here before, you've been on this channel, you've been watching, you've been taking notes, you've been knowing that every time she show up, she's showing up, right? I show up because when I show up for you. I show up for us, right? So I like to say to you that if you are a returning audience, simply mean that you've been here before more than one time, you are a returning audience. I would like to say to you, welcome, 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 welcome. Because that's what we do. When you show up, I show up, we show up together and we ignite each other gifts and talents, dreams and vision, goals, expectation, intentions. We ignite that. So when you are showing up, I like to say to you, come on in this room. Come on in this room and let us work on this together. You are very much welcome, returning audience. So grab your seat. You know where your seats are located. Grab your seat and let us roll into tonight's episode. And of course, if you see someone that's here for the first time, don't be shy. Wave to us, say hi to us, put first timer, and we acknowledge you. It's the often that we go through life and we get accepted, but we don't get acknowledged. Simply mean that somebody don't see you. When you show up, nobody see you. Nobody acknowledge your presence. When you come sit there like this, nobody acknowledge you. And I tell you what, that is not a good thing. It's not so good when you're going through life and you don't get acknowledged. You're doing a work and nobody acknowledge your work. You at a job and nobody acknowledge what you do, your dedication. You doing something and nobody acknowledge your commitment. No. We want to be acknowledged. So I tell you that when you come on in this room, I acknowledge your presence. I see you. I see you. So if you're coming in here as a first timer, we are responsible to say hi to you. So listen up. I'm going to talk about my family really, really, really quick. On the show, let's come on in here. On the show, we like to talk about F word. We like to use F word, whether by words or by action. We like to use F word. And me, basically, I like to use 3. Faith, fun, and family. It is the faith that I had that allowed me to reach the 354 episode in the show. Where days when I'm tired, days when I don't want to show up, days when I'm like, I just don't want to do this no more. It is the faith that's driving me inside. I say, girl, this is your dream. Girl, this is... And I had to show up because when God gave me the vision, I'm like, what? No, I don't want to talk to nobody on the screen. But then I remember God said, it was you that when you came into this country, you said you would like to be on the other side of the screen when you saw Oprah Winfrey. You didn't want to be Oprah Winfrey, but you wanted to know how she got over there, right? And opportunity presents itself, and here I am. So why do I fuss? But sometimes you gotta rest. You gotta rest. Rest is the gift. So it is the faith that I have in myself, in God, and the work that I intended to do on this earth by replenishing this earth with my purpose. I have a purpose. I already know what my purpose is. So many people don't know what their purpose is. So let me tell you something. So that faith. But the other thing, the other F word is family. I talked about my family before to say that I came from a big family. But what I omit to let you know that we have birthdays every month. Lord of mercy. January 1st, literally from January 1st all the way. Right now in October, I think we are overloaded in October with birthdays. Overloaded. As a matter of fact, we just had a new family member added on last week. New family member added on up in here. New nevertheless came forward. And I'm like, hey, you just adding on to the excess amount of number we have in October, bro. Yeah. So we show up in here, we do all these things, and we have all these birthdays. But we are great achievers. We are entrepreneurs and all these great stuff. My parents are entrepreneurs. They just probably didn't know the big word. I didn't know it either. They didn't know that they were entrepreneurs until, and they do all that stuff. But let me tell you something about my parents. I like to talk about my parents because I mentioned that they were farmers, they were dedicated farmers, committed farmers, and they did their thing. But I like to use their story because a farmer plants a seed or a grain on a fertile ground, and they wait for it to manifest. They wait for it to grow. They wait for it to spring up and bear some form of food or some form of fruit. And let me tell you, one seed that they planted that grew up was more. I was one of those seeds that they planted, and boy, oh boy, they never lived to see me coming on screen to like talk about them. Yeah. So I like to brag about them. I like to brag about the legacy that they lay in front of me. I like to talk about the legacy that I'm carrying for them. I like to talk about how they set the path for me to walk on. So yes, indeed, they never made it to see this, but I tell you what, I'm going to do the very best that I can to carry their legacy. Yep. Yes, indeed. So let me tell you, I like to use the analogy of farmers because everything that we do in this life is about planting a seed or a grain and watch it manifest, watch it grow. When we pray, it is a seed. When we encourage somebody, it is a seed. When we love on somebody, it is a seed. Everything that we do in this life is a seed, and we must plant and fertile ground. So when it grows, it is grown to bear fruit. And when it starts bearing fruit, you probably don't even remember that you planted somewhere. You're like, oh, what? That fruit look really good. And because I love natural fruit, but when we look and like something is springing up somewhere, somebody's coming like, oh, you remember me? No. This happened to me this week. I was on the phone call. I told you I like to talk about me. I was on the phone. I was on a phone. I was on my job on the phone. And when I was on the phone, I identify myself. My name is Verona. And the other person like, oh my God. Hi. Oh my God, how you doing today? You having a great day? Blah, blah, blah. And so forth. And the person like, oh my God, I cannot believe that it is you. The person was so excited. I'm like, what? Oh, going. And what happened? The person, I spoke to this person some months ago, maybe probably 2 years ago. I don't know. I don't remember even speaking to this person. And the person remember me. And it was like, oh my God, I was wondering what happened. Like, I have not heard back from you from when. And I'm like, what? It was we were just going back and forth. I'm like, oh my God, I hope the last thing I said to you made a difference in your life. Because no, I don't remember who she is, but she remembered me. But apparently it made an impact on her that she was saying, oh my God, I've been waiting for you to call again so I could talk to you. And I spoke with her. We had a good time. That was not the intent of the phone call. We had a good time going over like, oh my God, like really? Go. And we had a good time. So we talked in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. So I'm not saying this to impress nobody. I'm saying that it is so important that you plant seed because you never know where that seed is going to grow. And you never know where it's going to go either because you can plant a seed from 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, and you just never know that, hey, what happened to the seed that you planted down the road, up the road, on the mountaintop? You don't know. And all of a sudden the seed will start bearing and it start bearing and they're like, I remember who watered me. I remember who planted me. So that same day, story. So that same day I spoke to her in the morning. I was like, oh my God. So I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, thank you, Lord, that you remember me. But I'm saying this as faith and family as one, right? And in the same evening, I call again and I spoke to her again. So it's like 2 times I spoke to her in one day. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what is this? Like, but my heart was so happy to hear her twice. Following day, I called the same place. Who answered the phone? She answered the phone again. And I'm like, is this for real? Yeah, I'm like, seriously, is this for real? You guys know what's happening? Is this for real? 2 times in one day, the following day, she was the one to answer the phone. I'm like, wait a minute now. I had to ask her, are you serious? Seriously, how is it that you answered the phone twice yesterday? I got up this morning and called again and you are answering the phone. Is this for real? So I had to ask her, are you sitting there looking at your phone? Do you have a caller ID and know that I know that phone number, I'm going to answer it? Or do you tell like people, like anybody else at your job, like don't answer the phone, I want to answer it myself because I know that person? She's like, no, it just happened that it's you, I'm answering it. But it's amazing. And we just sat there like, is this for real? Like you see, I'm telling you the story. You saw the topic, it says for real. For real, seriously for real. Because both of us on the line like, is this really for real? Is this really seriously for real? Seriously. How did you do this? How you answer the phone? But the point is, something was planted in her. And whatever I said to her that morning, she was waiting for me to put something else to water what was already planted in her, that she got so excited that morning, like, oh my God, I needed to hear this again. I needed a reminder. And apparently, the third time that I'm speaking with you, you are here to give me a reminder of something. And voila, there she go. I poured into her that morning and we were gone. Will I talk to her again? Who knows? When will I talk to her again? Who knows? Because I don't remember the time that I spoke to her. So it had to be a while that I spoke to her. It got to be months from here. Months ago, right? So seriously, things like this will happen. So now let's get to the other F word, which is fun. Fun. We like to have fun up in here. We like to have fun in here because when we have fun, it is a form of celebrating. And when we have fun and celebrate, we're celebrating your small win, your big win, your birthday, your anniversary. We're celebrating a lot of things. We're celebrating birthday. I told you that my family got birthdays every month. So shout out to the family. I told you I showed out to my new nephew that was born last week. So shout out to the family in October and all this good stuff. So listen to me. We like to celebrate up in here. So whether it is your birthday, your anniversary, your boo's birthday, children's birthday, siblings' birthday, neighbor's birthday, neighbor's anniversary, some for you made it to this week, you made it to this time, you develop yourself a little bit more. Hey, your culture is celebrating something, somebody's celebrating something, you're celebrating a milestone, whatever the case is. I come on up here and let you know that we have a cheerleading squad and we like to celebrate with you. Whatever it is that you have to celebrate, put it in the comment section so we could celebrate with you. It's all about celebrating because when we celebrate each other, we are building on each other. We are multiplying on each other. We are supporting each other. And when we support each other, it's the same thing as being successful. We want to succeed together. We are not being successful. And yes, success could be different because everybody defines success differently. And because everybody defines success differently, I say to you, come on in here. Let us build together, grow together, and succeed together. Absolutely. So yes, whatever it is that you're celebrating, we would like to celebrate it with you. And we will go on this journey called success. So yes, indeed. So come on in the room. Let us work together, right? So as you come on in the room, I welcome you in the room. Like I said, we like to have fun. We celebrate up in here. We say, yeah, that my cheerleading squad sitting right here waiting to celebrate with you. And we go forward. Maybe you develop yourself a little bit more. Maybe you take an extra step into achieving your goals, your vision, your dreams, your expectation. You have an intention and you move forward. You make one step because one step is better than no step at all. So you made an extra step. So yes, indeed, come on in this room. Let us talk about it. So with that said, I tell you what, we are going to go into this real story. I told you the story just now, for real. I like to come on in and talk about my story. But listen, and not beside, I tell you that real story that happened to me this past week. Because today's Tuesday. So this happened to me Thursday or Friday, this past week. This past week it happened. But beside that, do you have a real story that you want to share? Come on in here, share it. But beside that, let me tell you something. Is it real that people are still showing up for themselves? Right? I ask you this. Is it real that some people are still showing up for themselves? Some people are still showing up despite what is happening around them, despite the chaos. Some people are still showing up because they want peace. Some people are still showing up seeking peace despite the chaos that is taking place. Some people are still showing up with love filled up in their heart despite the hurt, the sadness, the chaos. People are still showing up. Is it for real? Seriously. Are you that one still showing up despite the hurt that you're facing, the pain that you're going through, the neglect, the abuse, the hurt, the disappointment? Are you that one still showing up? with love in your heart to say, I want to love somebody? Is it for real that you taking charge of your dreams and your vision? Is it for real that you are the one that says, I want to make a difference? Seriously, you have the audacity to show up and say, I want to make a difference in somebody's life? Is it for real that you have that audacity to say, I need to discover my best version? Is it for real? Is it for real that you are showing up with an intention so deep that even your common dream scaring you? Is it for real? Because I ask you this question because right now, it might not seem so real that you wake up, you look at the news, you wake up, you look at social media, you wake up, you hear this, you get a phone call, you wake up. But is it for real that you're still bypassing all of that? Because I think we have the tendency that when we get even the saddest news, we stop showing up for ourselves. We have the tendency that when society says something, we get it and we cover ourselves in it. We have the tendency that when somebody's opinion try to define where we are going or who we are, we tend to shrink ourselves. We have that tendency. Yes. But how many of you know that it is so real for somebody to show up despite no matter what you decide to show up? It is for real. Let me tell you. See, I showed up. I showed up for myself time and time again. I showed up for myself that even when I showed up for myself, when I became a published author for the first time, I said, is this for real? Me, a native of Jamaica who came from a poor family, me who came from the mountaintop, me that my teacher told me in the 4th grade that I am so doubtful that I will never achieve anything, even though I was the brilliant girl, even though I came top student in my class every single year. Me that my teacher told me that you're not going to make it in life because you fail. That's the word. You fail to bypass that which. Is it for real that I became a published author after that? Is it for real? I sat down the first day when I became a published author and I look at my book and I'm like, no, it's not for real. I had to take that book and put it in front of me every single day and let it soothe up and heal up that which was told to me that I couldn't do. Again, brilliancy. I am brilliant. I was always the student that came top in my class since kindergarten. In Jamaica, they call it basic school. Here they call it, like in the foreign country, they say kindergarten. I was that student. But when that teacher says, you are doubtful Thomas, you little doubtful Thomas, you ain't gonna go nowhere with that doubtful spirit of yours. You know how to do things, but you're doubting yourself. That myself. Is it for real that I became your show host? Every single time that I show up, I have to look up my name right there. Every single time, because I have to keep on asking myself, is this for real? Yeah. That I am your host for the past 11 seasons. Is it for real? Seriously. Sometimes you don't want to ask yourself if it's for real. It is for real. It is for real. When things seem so hard, and you don't know how you're going to make it, and somebody else jump in and help you. Is it for real? I'll tell you my story again. Because I told you I love to talk about me. because nobody is going to talk about me or my story about me. I tell you my story. This morning, as a matter of fact, this very morning, I was going to the job. And while I was going to the job, I stopped and I'm like, oh, I should get me some bananas. Because usually I would bless somebody, you know, there are hopeless people on the street, and I would give them something. But this morning I'm like, oh, you know, I didn't get to buy, you know, some fresh bakes for them this morning. But I'm like, oh, let me get a banana because, you know, there's somebody across the street, they might get a banana. When I look in my wallet, I didn't have any change in my wallet. I didn't, because you know, you just grab $1 and you're like, you're going to purchase a banana or two. I look at my wallet and I didn't have $1 in my wallet. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have $1 in my wallet to buy this banana. No, seriously. I didn't have $1 in my wallet to buy the banana. Papers in there. Papers. And I walked away. And when I walked away, I'm like, oh my God, like I don't have $1 in my wallet. Nah. And so I said, man, God, I don't have $1 in my wallet. But I let it went over my head. I'm like, oh, whenever I'll be able to bless one of those hopeless people. So I got on the bus and I went on the job and I sat down. No, before I got to my job. And while I was going on my job, you know, one of my co-workers was coming with me and we got off the bus and we were walking and talking and going. And when I was walking and talking and going, we got to the building. And when we got to the building, we got in the elevator. And when we got in the elevator, true story. When I got in the elevator, there was a man standing in the elevator. And when the man was standing in the elevator, the man stood there and he had 4 bananas in his hand. 4 bananas. And he just stood in the elevator like he was just waiting, like, okay, who's coming in here? And I got in, good morning. I'm like, oh my God, bananas for us. Wow. So there were like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 5 of us were in the elevator. So 4 and the man with the banana made 5. 3 ladies on the side and the 2 guys. And I said to him, like, oh my God, like you bought bananas for us. And for real, this is for real, seriously. And when I said that to him, like, oh my God, like, yeah, like you could have them. Really? No. So he was offering one lady, my co-worker, the banana. She's like, oh no, thank you. And so he said, well, actually, I was about to give them away because I bought them for my house because I didn't want them to be overripe at my house. So I was bringing them to the job. He didn't work with me. He worked in the building. And he's like, I'm bringing them to my job because I didn't want them to be overripe at my house. So, oh my God. It's like, so he took 1 that was really, really overripe and he gave me 3. Right? He gave me the 3. He's like, oh my God, you can have these 3 because I wasn't going to take them to my job. So seriously, like, I was like, is this for real? Like, is this for real? I wanted the banana, didn't have to talk about the banana, and here comes the man blessing me with 3 bananas. Is this for real? Seriously, it is. I'm telling you this to let you know that faith, you heard me talk about faith. When you have faith in something, when you have faith in your higher self, when you have faith in God, things will happen on your behalf suddenly. And you're like, wait a minute. So my co-worker was like, oh my God, we got off the elevator and I'm holding the 3 bananas going to the office. And I'm like, oh my God, like this for real. And she's like, is this for real? Like, oh my God, it is. So I told her the story and I was like, girl, you know, I wanted to buy the banana, but I didn't have no $1 in my bag. She's like, is it for real? I'm like, yeah. She's like, look at what God can do. But I'm telling you, when you have faith, things will just happen on behalf of you, right? So I'm just saying this seriously, right? It's for real. When you loving people, you have a genuine heart to love people. And when loving seems so hard, but you're loving people anyhow, right? You're loving people anyhow. You want peace. And you're a peaceful person. You have peace in the heart. And peace seems so hard in these days. Peace seems so hard, but you're a peaceful person. When chaos seems so hard, you are walking around to say, I'm not gonna entertain chaos, right? So I say to you, is this for real? That things can happen to you suddenly? Yes. When being unkind is popular, being kind can be popular. When loving somebody seems so hard, it is real that you can love somebody. When you can love somebody through your pain, it is for real. So let us get serious into loving people despite. Let us get serious into be peaceful despite. Let us get let us show up and know that it is real. When we are given real love, it is serious. Let us not take these things lightly. That showing up, taking action towards our dreams, towards our vision, it is serious. Okay? So, with that said, I showed up for myself and I showed up being a contestant of Fab over 40. Yes, I'm over 40. So, with that said, I want to say to you, you are watching this channel right now. And I'm asking you nicely to vote for me in this contest. It is not only about a vote, it's not an election, it's about me showing up for myself in full gear. It's about me saying this is a dream that would become a reality. This will say that I win this contest. It is saying that I am living out my parents' legacy to be a support for some student, for one student, to allow one student to go to school. That you come in here and vote for me, it is giving me it's pushing me further to get the opportunity to make one student in my community of Jamaica to go to school on behalf of my parents. My parents had an intention, they had a dream to have at least one, to sponsor at least one student. Why? Because they never made it in school. And they had a dream to sponsor at least one child. So I entered this contest with my parents' legacy to say, if I sponsor one child to go to school, I will live out my parents' legacy. So I ask you, as I'm going to put up on the screen, please vote for me so I could be the next champion, as we're bringing awareness to breast cancer as well. And this is a dream that I intend to become reality. We are raising the level of consciousness as we take into consideration the awareness of breast cancer. Let us take some time, be healthy, have a healthy mindset so we can have a healthy body. Please, I'm asking you. I'm not begging. I'm just asking you. If you vote for me, vote tonight, you get two. Vote one, you get two. They double up on the vote tonight. As we go, please vote for me. I'm going to put it up and I'm going to put up the link where I ask you please to vote on behalf of my parents' legacy, my parents' dream, as well as my dream to sponsor one child to go to school in the rural area of St. Andrew. Thank you. I will go back and put up the flyer. Please vote for me again. Please vote for me, and I want to say thank you so much for tuning in into this episode of the Question Live Show. Do not forget, being kind is for real. Show up, be kind, kindness, loving somebody, be peaceful to somebody, make an impact on somebody, make a positive impact on somebody. Add on to somebody's dream, because when you add on to somebody's dream, your dream will be added up. Let us succeed together, because together we are stronger. Together we will grow. Together we will replenish the earth. Again, the link is in the comment section. Please vote for me. This is not an election. This is just me showing up as a champion to bring awareness to breast cancer, as well as have my dreams become reality and carry my parents' legacy to sponsor at least one student from East Rural St. Andrew to go to school, that I come on in here, stand as a champion of this competition to say one student will be able to go to school in full gear on behalf of my parents. And thanks to you, you vote for me, and you will see that is so. There's nothing else that we can do but to be together. I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Question Live Show. Again, I will put on the screen the flyer for you to vote for me. Tonight is the vote. If you vote once, you're going to get twice. You're going to get two. So again, thank you so much for tuning in.